Hey there, good morning. I wanted to hop on and do a timeless pick a card reading for you. And I wanted to, especially because I am really loving my new deck, the Tarot of Mystical Moments. And the images are so evocative and alluring, and I think they tell great stories. So, this particular reading is going to be just picking one, two, or three, and it's all with the same deck. And it's not necessarily any one theme, it's going to be whatever shows up. So, take what resonates and leave the rest. This is some version of a hematite. This pile two is an agate, and this pile three is just if you're feeling called to the yin yang stone. So, with that, take a deep breath and you're welcome to pick which one you want, and I will begin and I will timestamp. So, with that, let's go with our first pile, and that will be whoever picked the hematite as number one. Let me shuffle for you. Just see what comes up. Pile number one, hematite folks. What do you need to know? Let's see. Pile number one, hematite. What do you need to know? I'm just going to get positioned here better. Pile number one. Okay. This is where I'm being called to stop. We have the Hermit, Four of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Two of Wands. And then we'll elaborate. So pile number one, let's see what messages we're getting for you. So the Hermit and the Four of Swords. Yeah, I do believe that you are definitely taking some time for you. There's no doubt. If you look at the messages, they're so aligned. The Hermit and the Hierophant. I mean, the Four of Swords is always about a break, and the Hermit needs to go be by herself. I'm just using her because it's in the image, but obviously it doesn't need to be gender specific at all. There's a need to take a break. Big message, pile number one, that you might have been. It looks like you're, from my standpoint, in the middle of a decision because at the end we have a Two of Wands. We are going to open up more messages, but the most immediate message is there may be a need to take a time out. There may be a need to seek your own or someone else's counsel about something that you're coming to. And I think your decision, just at first blush with the Hierophant here, has to do with, tapping your wise self or someone else, but really also for some of you, it's going to have to do with making a decision based on what you want to do and what, maybe others think you should do or what society thinks you should do. That's very much a message with the Hierophant. Sometimes we feel like we're doing the shoulds and not necessarily following our heart. And as I mentioned on this first row, the last message is a Two of Wands. So it's very clear that the time out and being called to something, in terms of a pretty heavy thinking process is really about a decision. Two of Wands is always about a crossroad of some sort. So you have a crossroad in front of you, pile one, folks, and you have a need to get quiet with that because sometimes we seek a flurry and we kind of distract ourselves with things or even just overthink or over research. In this case, whoever's coming to a crossroad really needs to go quiet and go within and figure that out. Let's see what this could be about. What else do we need to know about this crossroad, about this decision, about pile one can come to the best decision for yourself, and what's really unfolding here? Like, what is this about? Pile number one. Tarot, let us know what is this about. I may pull a couple advice cards if we need it, but usually the message just unfolds. The Queen of Swords. Oh my gosh, the Queen of Cups. The Hanged Man. Out of the glare. And the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. And bottom of the deck is Justice. And I don't want to ignore that. Bottom of the deck is Justice. So basically around this decision, for some of you, it's going to involve, I believe that you're coming in with the energy of the Queen of Swords. You're coming in with the energy of trying to see the forest for the trees, trying to get a strategic, big picture, whether this is about business or about a relationship, it doesn't matter. I am getting the feeling that this is not like oozing a relationship crossroad, although for some of you, it certainly could be. It could be about a life circumstance or about a career, work, job, business. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I do know what's going to be important is that you get back what you put in. So if you're contemplating a decision and you're wondering if you're getting back what you're putting in, whether it's a work partnership or a relationship, justice tells me that, it can mean a lot of things, karma and, that you're feeling that law is going to play, contracts might play a figure in this decision. But what I'm getting the most about justice here is reciprocity, that there's going to be a return on whatever investment you're making in this crossroads decision. That's going to be really important. It's going to be important that if you're investing in creating something, whether it's with a person or with a business or with a job, that you're going to have the proper return. So specifically for somebody, that might mean that you're getting the right salary, that you're getting the right bonus structure and comp structure. If you want to get really granular about a work situation, or the contracts are looking good from a business standpoint, or just really from a relationship standpoint. you know um are you getting what you're putting in? With the Queen of Cups, you could be dealing with a Queen of Cups. It could also be that that's the other side of you that's playing in, that you are feeling emotional. You're trying to see the forest for the trees and stay logical, but there's an emotional side of you. For some others of you, there's somebody that is like a water sign or an emotional person in your midst that is part of your decision and crossroads. This person could be Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. Doesn't have to be. But for now, you feel like you're stalling out in this process. Um, or you want to. I mean, you want to because you're taking a break to think about it and get the proper insights. A pause or a moratorium is needed to make the proper decision, as well as patience. It literally is asking you with the Seven of Pentacles, where do you want to put your investment? Again, I go back to my comment about, is there the proper return on investment for you? This is telling you be patient. If you plant the right seeds, if they are aligned for you, the right the right answer will come, the right decision will come with this Two of Wands decision. In the Two of Wands, the person almost always has the world in their hands, which is a really auspicious and good fortune sign, which means, things are looking good for you. You have options right in front of you. You have good choices. You're not being left with the short end of the stick. You won't be. It's saying just be careful, take a rest, don't rush into something. And if you have a tendency to be emotional, it's saying call up your logical side. Think strategically. Like the Queen of Swords, knows how to cut away the things that don't matter, that aren't a priority. If you're dealing with a work situation, that's pretty clear cut. Narrow down to an answer that's going to serve you best in the long run from all your important factors. If you're weighing up a decision about a relationship, what are your most important factors? Not everybody makes a decision based on pros and cons. In this moment, this is telling me you need to take a break and assess. And yes, go to your inner wisdom. But when it comes down to making the decision, it will serve you to take like a weighing up of factors, a pro and con approach. You can go intrinsically to your intuition and say, intuitively and at my heart center, what are my most important factors that are important to me in this career, business, or relationship? If it's a relationship, my most important factor might be this person needs to be available to some degree, have a schedule that matches mine. They need to, have a similar need for the same level of communication as me. They might need to have, one of my most passionate hobbies in common because I spend a lot of time on it, or at least they have to support that I spend my time on this thing. So you might have an intuitive read on what's important to you, but then when it comes time to make the decision, I feel like you're gonna be making it's important for you to make a practical decision when you weigh this up, and you will. Pile number 1. There may be, a need to look at where are you planting the seeds, and can you be patient here? Because 7 of Pentacles almost always asks that you be patient, but it also asks that you carefully plant seeds. And then my final note again is just to underscore that it needs to be equitable, fair, feel good to you, that you're not overgiving. If you have a tendency to overgive, and you know who you are, this is saying to you, if you want to manifest the things that align and are most important for you in your life at this crossroad, then be careful not to overgive. Be careful that you're getting back what you really need. Okay, so that is pile number 1. And let's, if you chose pile number 2, we're going to do that one now. Let's take a moment as I shuffle through these for pile number 2. Same deck, Tarot of the Mystical Moments. It's my new deck, and I'm just kind of enjoying, connecting to it. I should tell you, it is by Katrine Wells Stein. She does an oracle deck as well. I'm going to give this a good shuffle on number 2, and these are going to be time stamped. Interesting, in this deck, she includes 5 extra cards. A female version of an emperor, a female version of all the kings, even though there's queens. She gives you an image that's a female image of the kings, if that's something you'd rather put in your deck. For me, for now, I kept the male image because I think when I'm reading, people want to see, if a certain character is coming in, and sometimes if you see the male, if that's an energy you're thinking about, you want to see it come in. So you use one or the other when you're using the deck. So pile number 2, what do you need to know? Pile number 2. Is this stone? Pile number 2. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. Oh, it is sticking literally to my hands. Ace of Cups, pile number 2. First card out of the gate. 9 of Cups. Death. Okay, I'm going to shuffle a little more. I didn't feel. Oh, here's another one. The Hermit again. Okay. So there's a need. There's a need for balance with the Temperance card and the Hermit at the end here. I feel something's going to arc and peak as an ending is the first blush message I feel here. But the Ace of Cups first, there's going to be, before. I don't think the death is an ending. I think the death is actually a transition. So look how beautiful this is. The energy that pile number 2 you're coming into is definitely about emotion and love. And this could be self-love. It could be definitely self-love because we know that the 9 of Cups, which is what follows the Ace, is definitely a bit of an independent card to some degree. The Nine of Cups has a sense of fulfillment, of wish fulfillment, and seeking their wishes. And it's always a singular image in the Nine of Cups. It's not about partnership per se. So if you're pursuing a passionate hobby, or you're in a period of time where you're needing to reboot, re-energize, tap back into your own self-love, I feel like this is a real transformation reading, but when I open up more messages, we're gonna, like, feel it for sure. But pile number 2, I think for those of you that are resonating, it's a time to really fill your cup. If you've been depleted or been overgiving to other people, or not focusing, doesn't mean that you had to have been overgiving to be distracted on other things. Maybe it's work, or in your relationship, or maybe in your family, or in whatever your obligations are. This reading is calling you to focus on rebooting your interest in a new spark, a new passion, or even your self love. And I believe that is true because your wishes are coming up in the Nine of Cups right after. There's a need to focus on your self fulfillment and your wishes. Part of that will probably entail two major arcana here, um, a transformation. And look, she's looking at a butterfly. I cannot be more specific. The woman in the death card is looking at a butterfly on her shoulder. So it's very literally calling us to the transformation meaning of death. Sometimes death is an ending. Sometimes an ending calls forth a transformation. It could be any of those things for you, that you're coming to the end of a cycle. Um, and the hermit also, is your kind of searching of the soul. So, going within to find your purpose and passion and your path and what is right for you. So, as part of this transformation, um, she does seem kind of lonely. She's out in the middle of the sea, obviously on the tower, but I think there's a haunting beauty in that, in this transformation, a necessary and but yet haunting beauty in that aloneness, because she's the mermaid. Mermaids own the sea. Mermaids know how to be in the sea. And even though right now she's getting like a bit of a bird's eye view there, she's not the fish out of water, really. She's fishing in her own space. She's not like a bear sitting on a tower on top of the sea. She's got the tail, she can swim. She's just taking perspective. That's the way I feel about it in this moment. So let's call up some more messages about this transition and this transformation for you, pile number 2. That's tapping back into your heart center. What else does pile number 2 need to know? Hello to you, those of you out there. What does pile number 2 need to know? Six of Wands. That's a success card. That's a victory card. So that's boding well for this phase for you. Pile number 2, hummingbird. I love that she's riding a hummingbird. Another ace, another beginning. Ace of Wands. Knight of Wands. And let's pull one more. Pile number 2, tarot. What does pile number 2 need to know? And Page of Cups. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a passionate kind of emotional reading. Page of Cups. And bottom of the deck is the Hierophant. So, in this case, there could be somebody who's a wise teacher that you might need to confer with. With the Hermit here and the Hierophant here, that could possibly be for you, pile number 2. As part of this transformative process, you could need to confer with some, colleague, friend, teacher, guide, mentor. Could be family member. But if there's somebody like that for you, that could definitely be a resource for you. I do feel like you're tapping into your emotional romantic side with this Page of Cups, landing on that Page of Cups. And, Six of Wands is just a really good luck card for me right now for you, pile number 2, that you will be successful that you'll be, getting the attention and recognition and reward in whatever this process of transformation is for you. Key again is it's a transformation. So I do feel like that's going to be sparking a new passion. It could be to do with a project with the Ace of Wands. If it's right under your wishes that maybe you've got a pet project you're finally ready to pursue, grow, expand, tap into a certain hobby, talent of yours. You've got ideas. It'll be fulfilling with this Ace of Cups. That's your aim. And the Knight of Wands is another passionate card. It could be that somebody is coming into the picture that's going to help fuel that for you. Someone's going to help spark that for you. So it could be a romantic partner. This could be a business partner. This could be somebody with an idea, a friend, but somebody's coming in. That's going to play into this transformation for you. Literally, that's interesting. If you have somebody that's a fire sign in your midst, that could be that person. But, again, I feel like it's leaving you with the energy of this emotion and sparking the new thing, the thing that's going to like light you up, bring back a bit more of a childlike, re-energizing essence for you, which is very exciting. It's very exciting. And, um, it feels like you've been through something. You've been through something where it's finally time to turn the page and enter this new cycle and drop behind something that might have been weighing you down. She's looking kind of wistfully at this butterfly, but I think in this transformation, I'm feeling like it needs a push. I'm almost feeling like for some of you, if this is resonating, this may only resonate with some of you, it's a specific storyline. But for some of you, there's a hesitancy to finally make this change. I don't know if that's resonating with anybody in particular, but for some of you, you might need a push. You might need to really, do some soul searching and need a push. What you should know about it is you will be successful. You will, if you push yourself here to kind of like turn the corner, you can spark a new interest. Somebody's helping you, and it could rejuvenate things that are going to make you feel good emotionally. Again, whether it's a business, career, relationship, it doesn't matter. Um, it's it's a tale that says it could be really the time to end a chapter and push yourself to transform. You're right on the precipice. So good things coming, passionate, tapping into passion and to, um, self-fulfillment is exactly what's here. So I hope that makes sense for some of you. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this back or watching this now. You can let me know. And I'm going to dial in now to the third reading, which is the yin yang stone. So those of you who picked pile number 3, or if you just want to listen to pile number 3, because you like listening to the different messages to see which one. I did that the other day, is just kind of listen to, all the messages to see which one's resonating with me. Because sometimes, readers just hit different angles, and you want to just hear. And you make, wow, that flipped over. Interesting. I'm going to keep that 9 of Swords. Somebody's picked pile number 3 because they're worried. They've got some worries. So see what you think. But this is pile number 3. What does pile number 3 need to know? Besides the fact that they've got some things on their mind, they're overthinking some things, maybe circular thoughts, obsessive or compulsive thoughts for some people. We know we all get those sometimes. Worry. I'm just going to say worry. Pile number 3. What else are the messages for pile number 3? Yeah. The Tower. 7 of Cups. Oh, and this one. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm sorry, pile number 3, there's definitely some difficult energies, but that doesn't mean that they're not coming to an end. what I feel, and bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles. So you might have somebody in your life that's going to be a steadying force that is male energy, practical. It could be husband, uncle, father, those types. But, it could definitely be um, a male energy that could provide a steadying force, which is all, pretty cool, especially when you're having a difficult reading. I'm going to pull out more energies, but the first blush message for me is there's something that's worrying you for sure. Pile number 3, folks, with the 9 of Swords, which is pretty explicit. And I literally see that as the same character in the Tower. So she's got her worries keeping her up at night. She's pretty stressed out, going through that kind of a period. And then something breaks. Something's going to break. And, the breaking is not always a bad thing. Sometimes we just need something to bust wide open. And, the thing that we're so worried about may not be standing on solid ground. As you know, with the Tower is always about that. The Tower shatters things that are meant to break and that are not standing on solid ground. So you might be dealing with a relationship that doesn't have the sure footing, and you're kind of realizing it, but you're hanging on and it's causing you agita and angst. Or you might be in that job where you're really miserable, but then unfortunately, your role's going to change, or they're going to let you go, and that's going to force a change for you, but you're going to be happy in the end. And the reason I say that the change is going to make you happy is because sometimes, obviously, we hold on longer than we need to, whether it's a relationship or work. Change is the hardest thing that humans can go through. We know this, so we would almost stay with the evil we know versus venture into the unknown. It's just human nature. So that's why the Tower comes in sometimes. It's the universe's way of saying, okay, I got you, but you're going to have to change here. Something's going to have to give. It's meant to give. So for those of you picking pile number 3, something's meant to give. It will definitely bust through. And on the other side of that Tower is the 7 of Cups. So there's going to be options. There's going to be options for you. There's going to be the ability to tap back into your imagination and what would possibly your possibilities, I feel. There's going to be possibilities coming for you with the 7 of Cups. um, you're going to be doing a bit of comparison of yourself to others. You're going to wonder, if you're getting the right support, and, if people are taking care of you or thinking of you with the 5 of Pentacles. But you are going to have options that tap into, what could work for you. And I do think there's a possibility that a King of Pentacles is in the mix to help out. So if there's somebody you're identifying with, as I say that, then yeah, for sure, this is probably your reading. And that person could play a prominent role in this, rug pull, Tower change, thrust upon you situation. But what else does pile number 3 need to know? Let's see. Pile number 3, what else do you need to know about this big shift? See, even in this Tower picture, she's trying to hold on. She's trying to hold on to a tower that's busting right in front of her. So, guys, if you really are that person hanging in on that friendship you don't want to give up on, or that work that you're just thinking, I'll just stay until they get rid of me because it's filling, the need, but it's making me unhappy, or that relationship that you can do better than, I think this is saying the universe might be shifting that for you, and maybe it's time to let go. Because look, the same woman with the hair, same hair. And there's a lot of different figures in this deck, but I'm just getting it's the same woman. It's the same energy. The same energy, the upset person, the clinging on for dear life person with the long flowing hair. The person with the long flowing hair now has options. And, it's not going to be without its angst. 5 of Pentacles. We do know that can feel, a little lonely or left out. You've got to make your own, um, positives here. When you hit the 5 of Pentacles, there's the lights on in the building. You can go in the building. You can go in the building. There's people, warmth, comfort there, So know that, pile number 3. And, I'm not going to take that. What else does pile number 3 need to know? Pile number 3. These are very slippery. Hiya. How you doing? Okay, that wanted to come out. Eight of Swords. So there's some lingering fears right under the Nine of Swords. What else? But as we know, with the Eight of Swords, you are very much in control. You can always step away. Four of Pentacles. It might have to do with putting up some good boundaries to protect yourself from things that are still, worrying you, making you feel bad in this transition and this, um, big change that you're dealing with. You have to set your values and your standards. I feel pile number 3. You have to set, what it is that you have standards about. Like people can and cannot do this. People, are allowed in my space who are supportive right now. That kind of stuff. And the Knight of Swords energy. And last, let's see, yeah, and the Seven of Swords. So, yeah, so there's people in your midst. Again, wow, this is totally affirming this boundary thing for me. You want to cut out any people that are messing with you. And then the King of Pentacles, look at that. King of Pentacles came back around again on the bottom of the deck. There's definitely an earth sign leader or, spouse, partner, father figure, somebody who's got their act together, who's coming in to help you here. Absolutely tap into this relationship, whoever it is, pile number 3. But I do feel like your boundaries may need to be up on any, and you need to kind of cut to the chase or cut out with the Knight of Swords. Anybody who's a Seven of Swords figure. Seven of Swords is the classic tarot image of the person who's escaping in the middle of the night, who's like the thief in the middle of the night. So if there's somebody in your midst, pile number 3, that is not trustworthy, this is calling upon you to really be aware, tell them where to step off or just cut them out, because that's going to lead to your options that work for you. Sitting under the Seven of Cups, it's going to lead to your wishes coming true. And helping you make this change. So it's a little bit more of a complicated and it's got some complexity for this reading, pile number 3, but it's got very clear advice. The clear advice is you're going to need to let go of what you're holding on to so tightly. There's going to be really good things coming on the other end when it finally busts through or you let go. You will still have lingering feelings of doubt with the Five of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. Putting the right boundaries up, cutting through the crap, not allowing for bad actors is going to win the day. Pile number 3. You've got a wonderful partner in crime here. And I don't mean to say crime, but partner here with this King of Pentacles. You've got wonderful friends here with the Three of Cups. So tap into your people. And that's going to be key to you, pile number 3. So I just wanted to kind of end there. If there's somebody on the wire here that has one particular question, I like to do a spontaneous question for the first person who asks. I will answer briefly for you if you have a question. So does anybody have a question who's watching right now? You can feel free to type it in and we'll see what comes up. If not, I'm just going to give it a minute and then I'm going to wrap. Does anybody have a question? Pause. My final question. Anybody want a question? Bueller. Well, I don't see a question coming forth. So I'm going to give you a couple more seconds for those of you watching. If you've got a question, put it right there in the chat and I will see it. Okay, so for another time, we'll open up for questions. And for now, I'll probably edit this out or try to make it less long for you. But thank you for being here, everybody, and have a wonderful day till we meet again. Take care.